Hello, I'm here to talk to you about setting up a digital MCC. So there is a little bit of pre-work in this, so you're going to need to request an E5 license for the generic account that's going to be used for this PC. You have to have a SharePoint site that has all your MCC files on it. When you have that site, grant me access, Brian Artfield, and send it over to me. I'll have to go into the main Power app and set up a configuration for your plant so it points to your SharePoint site and pulls all of your files in. And then once you do get a generic account, you also have to make sure that that e-account has access to the main SharePoint site used for all the control centers. So a little bit of overview down here and a couple different links. So there is an MCC update app I'm going to go over. There's also going to be a display app that I'm going to go over. I got the main landing page and a couple of other notes down here to read through. So first thing I was going to go over is my little test power site here. Here's the main landing page, and when we're done with this, there'll be an MCC icon that pops up in here. So right now you don't see it because we don't have it all configured up yet, but it'll automatically show up once we go through and do it. So we'll go ahead and jump right in. So if you were to click that link that I have on the main site to get to the app for this, it'll load up and look something similar to this. So you go through and you select whatever plant acronym you have. So in this instance, we're going to hit test. So we're going to hit submit. So if we go to do this, we're going to have no drop downs because we don't have any configurations. So we're going to go ahead and set up a configuration. So down in the left hand corner here, there's a hidden button down in the corner. So I'm going to click that. Brings me back to the select plant page. Again, there's another hidden button down here. I'm going to click once more. And this is where we can set up our configuration. So we're going to scroll up. We're going to hit test. Again, I don't have a drop down for an existing area. So let's say test area 1, and we'll do department test 1. Let's change that. Area test 1. So we'll go ahead. We'll add a configuration. New configuration being created. Please wait. Successfully submitted and created. So now if I change this drop down to area test 1, it's gonna blank out selecting a new area because I already have one up here, and let's just make a second one for fun. So department test 2, we'll add a second configuration so I can just show you what that does. So we'll give it a second. Hey, it's creating it, and then when it's done, you'll get that green pop up again saying, hey, it's successfully submitted. If I try and submit the same name twice, I'll hit the add configuration. It'll give me a little error. So, hey, don't duplicate. I'm going to hit this back button. So now I'm also going to go back and select test plant in here. And now I have this drop down area test 1, and I got department test 1, test 2. So I'll select test 1. Hit next. So up at the top, you'll see where you're at. So you got your area, your department, and your setup number. So the setup number is going to be used to configure what pulls into the maintenance control center. And every time you create a new configuration, it's going to give you a unique setup number. So if I hit back here and go to number 2, now I got my setup number 1 to 2. Go back to test 1 here. So within here, we got the constraint management side and the asset management side. So each one of these refers to a different tile on there. So you see constraint management tile 1 through 9. If I scroll down, you're going to get asset management tile 1 through 8. So I do have a little button, this MCC picture layout. If I hit that, it's going to show me what that layout is. So on the left, you got constraint management. So you got all these CMs. So CM 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a layout of what you're going to be, of what all those numbers are referring to for the different line items. CM6 is the action deck. And then you got the asset management side over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can get a layout of what you're linking in there. So if I scroll back up to the top, let's go to the asset management side. We can come in here, click into it. It's going to give you area, department, if you have a heading name, setup number, MCC naming, and your plant at the bottom. So I can come in here, I can put a heading name, and let's just say asset management AM1. We got a setup number in here, and then this MCC naming is going to be important when we get to it in a little bit. So it's kind of set up in here where it has your plant acronym. So in this case, it would be test hyphen MCC hyphen SO1. So it's going to be your setup. So whichever MCC you're on is going to be that setup. And every time you make MCC, it'll give you a unique number. So I created the first one, it was 1. The second one was 2. And then it's going to be AM01 for asset management 01, or it'll be CM. We'll go ahead, we can just do AM1 here, hit OK. We come back here, now the heading updated over here. So asset management, let's go into a constraint management one in here. Same thing, everything's the same, except you got CM for constraint management in here. You do CM9 here. So these are the configurations in here. So now let's go back to this main landing page in here. So if I refresh this and give it a second to load, now we have this MCC screens and apps. So I can click in this, and now you have 2 buttons in here. So you got the MCC update app. So if I click that, that's what we were just in. We can come through here, select, come in, update all these as needed. We're going to have to populate all the headings that we want in there. By default, they're all blank. If I hit back, I can also click back into this and get to the MCC board. So if I click on the MCC board, I already have it populated here. I'm going to go over an example for VEPC because I have all the documents set up for that. So if I go ahead and click your plant acronym in here, then bring you to a screen where by default nothing's loaded, and you have these drop downs at the top, this area and department. So if I double click the area up here, I have a test assembly line set up, and then I can hit a drop down here for test department name. And once you do that, it's going to start pulling everything in for you. But initially, it's not going to pull anything in. You're going to have to go to your SharePoint site. So if you go to your SharePoint site where all these files are located at, you click on one of these. Let's do the CM01 JPH that we want. So we're going to hit this little ... properties. And within here, you'll see this title. So this is where I was saying you're going to have to look up what it is. So this one is going to be VEPC MCC setup 1 CM01. Again, you can go back to this main one here, and let's go ahead and I'll go into Van Dyke's. Test assembly line, department name. If we want to go to CM01, we have this number here that we can copy and paste if we need to. So VEPC MCC SO1 M01 for that title. So I could just grab that from there, copy and paste it over here. So we got to go through and do an initial setup for all the files so it links, hey, I'm going to grab this file and I'm going to pull it in. So you can go through and do that for all the different ones. So one at a time, you can go through here, look at the picture, hey, for this tile, CM1, go to CM1, okay, here's the naming convention for it, go update in the SharePoint. So a little bit of time to do that initial setup. But once you do, this screen is going to pull in a preview of that file and the heading that you put in there. And now if I click on any of these, say I click this JPH, it's going to bring me over to this file. I can jump into this deck, go through it as needed. So that's all I have for the mains control centers. Enjoy the setup.